Right, I've got you.
You can edit that.
Just in from Dublin. How's Dublin?
Great.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've been since last June, and still kind of Edo really, do you know what I mean, over and back with the fluke thing anyway, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good playing with different people. And
Yeah? Who have you been playing with?
just various musicians around Dublin really, no sort of major...
Yeah.
Just nice sessions and that, but yeah, it's been good, it's been refreshing, somewhere different to play in.
Excellent,
So, yeah,
excellent. Yeah, I mean, a small amount of time, lots of questions. A lot of people asking me, where does Johnjo get it from? Who do you listen to? I mean, everyone's listening to you now. Who are you listening to?
It's a funny, I don't really listen to, not in a bad way, but I don't really listen to barons as such for inspiration. I kind of listen to sort of Indian tabla players like Zachary Hussain, Shrav Gursu, or Dennis Chambers, or just sort of funk and jazz stuff, you know what I mean? Just getting different ideas of beats that, if they're in the same sort of time as a jig and a reel, you can sometimes use them. And sometimes they fit better with certain tunes, you know, certain riffs and stuff. But no, I mean, there's loads of great baron players out there, you know, it's just different styles and how you want to approach it. Like the fluke thing is kind of all funky stuff, really,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I was playing with someone like, you know, a 56-year-old box player, you know, it wouldn't be kind of that,
No.
you know, more, because I tend to sort of back what I'm listening to, do you know what I mean? Don't stand a certain way.
Yeah.
But playing a jig and it'd be kind of whatever's going on around me, I'll try and complement that. But
I mean, there's a lot of people listening to your style. I mean, you've obviously taken your style, obviously, when you were started. Who were you listening to when you were coming up, you know?
I used to listen to Johnny McDonough, Ringo McDonough out of Dana. He
Yeah.
was the main guy listening to, sort of Kevin Kniff with the Chieftains. Who else? Colin Murphy, he also played with the Dana, but
Yeah.
mainly for me, Ringo McDonough I think is the best baron player ever, if you want to go to that sort of
Yeah,
spin. But I mean, there's no sort of best anyway, everyone plays it differently, there's no real right or wrong way of playing it. It's just what, you know, it's the time is the crucial thing, you know, a lot of people can be technically really good, but the timing's, it's not quite, you know,
That's it.
and it's got to be really, you know, on like, but yeah, like Ringo McDonough's my favourite baron player, not that I particularly play like him at all nowadays anyway, but back at the start, like he's like a sort of like a drum machine.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, there's no one really come close to doing that, I don't think. I mean, I couldn't hold a beat down. I mean, I can hold a beat down, a regular beat. But for me, I think the way baron playing's gone now, baron players won't hold a steady beat for that long. They want to do something else because they get bored of it and all this top end stuff. But it's interesting though to see how it's going. Like, there's a lot of great young baron players, like say, since I've been living in Ireland. A few amazing young kids out there. I was like,
Yeah.
like for the age of them, you know what I mean? But no, it's great. It's good to see. Like, it's,
Yeah.
I suppose, you know what I mean. If I come up with a beat or something and someone, you know, plays it, I think, whatever, you know what I mean? But it's in a nice way, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't sort of go, oh, that's my beat, and start getting, you know, funny about it. It's great, like, you know what I mean? I'd make beats off loads of different baron players,
But there's loads of Johnjo clones around. I mean, I saw a guy from Misha. I mean, he was just playing a Seamus O'Kane drum with the little black stick, and he's doing all the. It's all just. I'm thinking, you know, it's spreading now. You know, so I mean, if you were talking to, you obviously talk to a lot of young lads. You just tell them listen to as much drumming. Just don't listen to barons.
Don't just listen to barons. Like I say, I mean, I've done like workshops, and I'll be saying, you know, people say, oh, you know, just sit down and. If I sit down with a baron on my own in the house and try and figure out a beat or a new idea, it'll generally rarely come, you know what I mean? It's more like if I'm just sat around and listening to the radio, could be anything on the radio, you know, just put some funky or jazz CD on and just listen to it and think, alright, and start, because I've got drums all over the house, we're picking a drum and start pissing about with it. And, you know, something generally comes up. Then if I'm just in a session, I might get an idea and think, oh, that's alright, and kind of keep it off, and just try to sit down and work it out. It's pretty rare, like, which is good sometimes, you know, because it's sort of end up breaking your head and then throwing it there and think, oh, no, I can't be bothered. But yeah, no, it is. It's good. I play like McGorge can be fluke, and there's sort of lots of different styles of tunes going on. Eastern European stuff and all that, doing tunes in sevens, which is quite unusual. You know what I mean? Most bands just play like jigs and reels, and it's interesting to play tunes in sevens and, you know, different time signatures. I'm into that, doing different things, just to experiment. I mean, you can. The thing about a drum is all the sounds are in there. You've just got to find them. You know what I mean? I mean, you can make it sound like a bongo, you know, you can do. It's all in there. Do you know what I mean? Pretty much it's like a drum kit apart from cymbals, really. And you haven't got the hi-hats affair and all that, I suppose. But you know, the general beats. I mean, that's what I say about tablas, that sort of bending of the notes and yeah, just getting ideas.
Have you thought of doing I know it sounds crazy, but a baron CD for people who just love the percussion end of what you're doing? You know?
Well, I mean, I've been trying off and on to do a DVD tutorial or a video tutorial, and I've just been so busy lately with the band. It's been pretty hard, you know. I mean, I've had a few days off. It's like, right, I'm not doing anything, you know. And, but I should be making the most of them days off and try and do something. I will do. I'm planning on doing something hopefully before the end of the year.
Because I think it would be fantastic to be able to, you know, hear just you, without all the influences of the other stuff, what you would want to do with your percussion sounds, not just barrel, but you obviously got loads of different drums. I mean,
different drums, different styles, and that was the thing, you know. I was sort of saying, you know, I've seen a few of the tutorials out, and they're all, you know, there's various people that's made them, and they're all, you know, really good. But I'd like to sort of make it a real sort of, you know, straightforward jigs, explain stuff quite easily at the start, and then bringing it to sort of the ideas that I've got, you know what I mean. So it would just be like a strict tutorial, it'd be like clips of gigs and stuff like that, you know, different shoots of how the beat works in a, you know, in a gig sense and all that. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I'll try and get it done anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll probably that's anything, but anyway.
I was talking to Sarah about maybe a fifth member. Where would you see another? You know, would you see another tune player or something?
It's a funny one to call, like, you know what I mean, because we've done a lot as a four-piece and it's been fantastic the last 5 or 6 years. But it's like, I don't know. I think it's various bands, you know, bringing different artists, after, different players after a certain amount of time, and it brings a sort of freshness to the band. You know what I mean? So. But as in regards to someone to play with Fluke, it's a pretty tricky one, you know what I mean? Because Brian plays lots of different, you know, whistles and stuff.
Yeah.
So for a fiddle player, you need to be like Stefan Capelli, or have like, you know, 2 fiddles tuned differently, or I don't know. It's a hard one to call. I mean, we're all sort of talking about it at the moment.
Well, I said to Sarah just now about maybe having a go on decks.
Possibly, yeah.
And her face lit up. It was, yeah, you know.
So that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing, because like Fluke's not strictly Irish, do you know what I mean? I mean, we played jigs and reels and all that, but I was saying about the Eastern European stuff. There's a lot of variation in the set, you know what I mean? So it's a hard one to call, but it could be really interesting.
You know, you could always put something like a hammer dulcimer in there or something, just to really give it another kind of quality in the tones, you know.
This is because we done a gig up in Kelly Connection in Glasgow, and this guy Jim Goodwin, who's a mate of mine from Manchester, plays kit. We just had like a floor-to-floor kick drum and snare and hats. And a little cymbal, and he played a gig, and it was really funky with him, like, just even having a double percussion thing. People were saying, oh, I don't think it's going to be good, it's just leave it to the barrel, and I was saying, well, you know.
Well, I've seen you working with Mike's big band, with the drummer, and, I mean...
And percussionist as well.
And percussionist, and it works.
Yeah.
As long as the guy on the desk's got his head down and, you know, got the sound right.
There, and that's the thing with that band, it's like 13 people in it, and like I say, 2 percussionists, double bass, keyboards, there's a big back line, I mean, it's all backing apart from... Well, Mike McGoldrick and Desi Donnelly, really, now. We used to have Alan Kelly, but it's used to 2 lads now. And then like myself and Ed's also backing, so it's a big backing line, you know what I mean? But like saying, you can hear the drum perfect in that, so I don't know, people that you get these sort of purists and say, oh, you know, don't be messing around with it. And, well, I mean, it's no harm to have a little project, is there, and try to do something.
Well, the thing is, the whole, there's the trad thing, but there's a whole other thing seems to be happening, and Fluke seemed to be at, you know, at the cutting edge of it, you know.
It's been well. It's interesting, you know what I mean, because like say since I've been living in Ireland, like after we've done the last album, it's like there's a few tunes I thought, right, people in sessions might play that, but they won't play that because they're not tunes you play in a session. But it's weird, you hear a few people playing them here and there, you know, you're thinking, oh right, there's this nice tune out there. Another mate of mine, Colin Farrell, a fiddle player from Manchester, wrote in there. So he's been saying, oh, everyone's playing your tunes, like, oh no, I don't believe you, and then, you know, you come over there recently, and they met with him and had a few pints and that, and he was saying, alright. So it's good fun, you know what I mean, he's a great, you know, he's a great player. We were talking, he's done a few gigs with Fluke, and he's a great player. He's wrote some really great tunes as well. And him and Brian were saying together it could be a nice thing, but who knows, man? We don't know really. Someone will come in somewhere along the line.
Well, I mean, it's being talked about now. That's where it usually starts, isn't it? And I think maybe, you know, it may take a year to find whatever, but I think it would be fantastic now to sort of add that extra X quality or X factor into Fluke and see where that takes it.
See where it goes. That was the thing when we were earlier in the year. We were saying, you know, rather than just going something like, right, we're going to ask this person and that's going to be it. We were saying maybe over the course of the year, invite people for certain tours, do you know what I mean? And then at the end of the year, like you say, maybe I don't think, right, that was interesting, that was good. We'll go again, you know. Or maybe even just keep it like that full stop, just bring various people as guests on.
That would be it. I mean, you don't know, because I mean, you want to keep it fresh. I mean, and you've got the 4, you know, you've got the 4 pillars, if you like, of the band, and it's just like how you happen to feel. And you might go through 10 musicians, and maybe you've got 3 people that you just think that is spectacular, and then, you know, they would be like a sort of almost interchangeable sort of thing. Like the Rolling Stones with different bass players.
Well, we're not quite the Rolling Stones, but you know, we're working on it. No, I don't know. It's just whatever you get the buzz off. You know what I mean? Like you work with certain musicians and you really enjoy it. You think, oh, that was a really good buzz playing with them, and all, you know.
Because Mike is the most interchangeable band, and you know, it's never the same 2 nights on the trot, which I think must be amazing for you when you're playing. You know,
it's mad. Yeah, I mean, he's such a, you know. his musical brain is just mad. You know, he just thinks of all these interesting, you know, mad things. Because maybe he talks about the fewest things. This was thinking, it's a lot of heads, man. You know what I mean? And we never actually got together. We did rehearse, but we didn't get together until the day of the first gig, and it was like, because Mike had brought people down individually to put their stuff on his album, and then. But yeah, no, it was interesting then because we all sort of jammed together. It was like, well, this is going to be great. And then we went and done the gig, and it was like, I mean, the unfortunate thing about that is it only does maybe 6 gigs a year because it's such a big thing.
A lot of organisation.
Yeah, a lot of organisation, and you know, it costs a lot to get 13 people to, you know, another country and flights, and it all adds up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people on board, but when it does happen, it's excellent. Like, it's probably nice that it only happens 6 times a year, really, or maybe 10 times a year. You know, because it's a real buzz.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. It's different. You know, I could do a lot with Fluke and doing a lot with Tola Costi and Morella Murray as well. Myself and Ed done a little album with them a couple of years ago, and so that's been good. Different, a lot more traditional than Fluke, and so it's a good to have a mix. I like to sort of vary what I'm doing, really. Like something really traditional. Then Fluke's kind of funky, modern and stuff, and then Mike's big band. Yeah, it's different again. So it's good. I think it's good for you playing as well, just to change. If you're doing the one thing all the time, you can get sort of caught in a rut. And you're thinking, you know, when you see someone else, you think, oh, that's my, you know, should be doing that, but. I think it's whatever you feel comfortable with. If you enjoy, like I really enjoy messing around with different rhythms and time signatures and stuff, so it's kind of what I do, and then you get the more purist bar on player who go, oh, you know, stick to this and don't be messing with it, but it's whatever you like, really. You know, it's different strokes with different folks, and it's you just see whatever you go for. And I kind of like the sort of modern. I mean, I suppose over the last 10 to 15 years, it's not. I mean, people sort of single me out a bit, which is great in a way, but I think, no, there's a lot of people out there that's playing really, really good bar, and you know what I mean. I'm just looking at Ireland and going. So right, I can say some of these young kids I've met in Ireland lately, and they've been like phenomenal. Like, you know, I mean, this young guy was only like, I think he's about 9 actually, called Eamon, little fella from up in the north of Ireland. And he was just amazing. Like, you know, I mean, I was like, wow, man, playing Seamus O'Kane bar, and he had all the strengths and everything. It was like,
Seamus O'Kane's got a lot to answer for.
He has. Well, I mean, like I say, I've played various drum makers, drums and stuff, and I always kind of go through phases of, I really like this drum for a while, but I've been playing Seamus O'Kane drums since about 1989 or something like that, and he's my favourite maker, do you know what I mean? I suppose everyone's going to older people say this one's better and this one's better, but it's what I say, it's the same as the playing. It's whatever you, it's what your ears tell you, really. You know what I mean? If you think that's a nice sound, then that's what you're going to play in it. But yeah, Seamus O'Kane is he's my favourite maker. But yeah, no, so it's interesting. You know, like I say, a lot of people wouldn't touch his drums a few years ago, and now they seem to be everywhere, which is fantastic. You know, I'm really chuffed because I think, you know, he's a great fella as well, and he's a great barn player. I don't know if you've ever been playing a barn, but he's got a really nice style of barn playing as well, and been driving a few tunes and totally different styles. But you know, I won't be doing any different. You know, just sort of get a buzz off each other rather than. I don't like competitions in a session either on a barn. It seems to always happen. You know, as soon as 2 barn players get in a session, it's like, you know, someone does something fancy, and I've got to be better. And it's like, you know, just do what you do. I think it's too many people get caught up in all that. But anyway.
Have you seen this drum solo on the site yet?
I haven't actually. You've told me about it a few, but I haven't actually. I haven't looked at it.
It's one of the most downloaded pieces of video, I think, anywhere. So, what would you like to say to all these thousands of people that have downloaded your Cambridge drum solo?
Well, I don't know why. So thank you.
Cheers.